Welcome to our 27th Fireside Chat. I'm Tim Hollick, and with me as always is my good friend Joe Zinni.
Hey Tom, Kim. I'm just thinking about
Tom today. We were talking about him.
I know, that's what I was just thinking about Tom upstairs when we were talking.
What are we talking about today?
This is Tim Hollick, folks. We're going to talk about, you had a post, one morning post, mistakes, the freedom to err. We all make mistakes, we all suffer some losses from it. But it's,
So you staged the Tom thing.
I staged the Tom thing, the old Tom thing. We always looked at mistakes.
Yeah.
The freedom to err is to learn from it.
Sorry.
We talk about it all the time. We talk about how Covey talked about it. We talk about how we make them. We make them all day long. It's fixing them and learning from them that helps us with the experience. Talk to me a little bit about the freedom to err.
Well, a lot of people, they're afraid to make mistakes, and I try to push people that it's okay to make mistakes. I mean, it's not okay financially or sometimes your reputation, but you can fix the reputation by just taking care of it. But most people are afraid to make mistakes, and I really believe if you do not stretch your horizons and make mistakes, you're falling short in life. And really, if you're not making mistakes, that means you're not doing something. You're not doing anything. You're not doing enough. You want to succeed in life, and again, we talked about that. I said it yesterday. If you're happy where you're at, there's no reason to think about what I'm talking about. If you're a person who wants to get farther ahead, become successful, whatever success in your life, you have to push forward. And unfortunately, mistakes come with that because you're learning.
Right. And that's, I think the bottom line is, people used to say, well, you made 10 mistakes. Yeah, that's because I'm doing 1,000 things.
Mm.
And I don't mind
doing
making
a lot.
Right, I'm doing more. So, and I'm okay with that because I'm learning from it. As long as I'm not repeating that mistake,
That's right.
I'm winning. You talk about it all the time. How many mistakes you made when you first got into business. The key to that was not to make the same mistake all the time because you'd be out of business.
That's right. And that's where the learning process curves come. Unfortunately, some people don't learn by the mistakes. They don't think about them. They don't blame themselves. They push them off to others, and I think that hurts their growth also. The biggest thing with mistakes is you got to own up to it. You have to accept in your mind that you made a mistake, and it's okay. And I think, again, the way schools have made, mistakes are considered like taboo.
Mm.
Well, that's why kids don't raise their hand to answer things, because they're afraid to make a mistake and look stupid.
Right. And it's funny. I've talked to my daughter about it. I know you talked to your daughter about it when they were in school, and you do this and do that. Yeah, but I don't want to be wrong. You know what? I can guarantee you, everyone in that room, be it 22 kids and an instructor, and maybe 2 instructors, every one of them has been wrong. And they've made mistakes.
Sure.
All you're trying to do is make it so that you don't make the same mistake again. Ask the question.
Yeah, mistakes are just looked at, like I said, it's so taboo.
It is.
That it actually constricts people's learning. I'm a firm believer in our education system that I don't think it goes the right way lots of times. I think we memorize things more than really learn things. And I don't think that's good for kids. But that's the way our life has brought us. And unfortunately, mistakes. That's why, with games, everybody wins. Well, that's bull.
Yeah, it is.
Everybody doesn't win.
No.
Somebody's got to win. Somebody's got to lose. There's a learning experience from that. That's what makes you try harder.
Yeah.
And that's why I've always agreed with sports when they, especially in Little League, it was always the rule: if it becomes a 10-run difference, the game ends.
Right.
Why make it worse?
Why make it worse?
It's already. That submission, it's done.
Right.
So don't let them go 6 innings. When it goes
Because
to a certain
the next
point,
time they go out there, they know that the game before was just a mistake. Let it go. Let's fix it.
Yeah.
You better, rather than having it.
Don't make it a
dreading
defeat.
You're right. And if you're drubbing it into them, that's only like you were wrong.
Yeah.
Nobody. That's not the way to approach a mistake, and we know that.
Yeah, because you can't do good all the time. Gina came home and I asked her how she did on her test that she worried about. I don't think I did good, Daddy. And I used to say, did you try your hardest? And she said, yeah, that's all I could ever ask for.
Right.
Learn from it, I tell her,
Right,
and go to the next one. Hopefully you learned enough by the mistakes of what you didn't get right that now you can correct that and understand it more, because really that's what learning is understanding. And I think that's what life going forward is about, understanding.
Yeah.
And I think when you start to understand more, you see more. I say that a lot in my
You do.
posts. I don't know if everybody understands what I mean by that.
Well,
That's
tell
why
us.
I accent it.
Yeah, tell us.
Well, see is really, we see things, but are you really seeing into it? Are you seeing into that conversation that with a client, with a friend? Are you seeing deep into what you're hearing? I see things better now. I see opportunity better now because I'm always keeping my mind open. The more open your mind becomes, the more you step back, the more that happens. And I really believe we get so much farther in life when we get to see more. That's what coaching's all about. I mean, that's one thing I learned last year, becoming certified coaching and speaker with the John Maxwell system, is my job is not to tell people what to do as a coach. My job is to dig deep like I am with my customers. Ask good questions, dig deeper, so you understand the situation better. Now you can come up with ideas, whether it's you or your client. I mean, as a coach and then the client, I don't want to really come up with the thoughts. I want them to. That's what the question does.
Sure.
They learn better that way.
They certainly do.
And I think that's the way our schools should be, but unfortunately, schools have changed so much, learning habits have changed so much, what they want us to learn to today's life. Everything's based on the pixels of life.
Yeah.
Pixels is how clear a picture becomes. It's broken down a gazillion times.
And the number that it's attached to.
Right. And that's how they teach. I mean, I was blown away by front end estimating. I'm like, I was a straight A student in math. I couldn't help Gina in school.
Right.
I didn't understand it myself.
I struggled with them too.
Front end estimation.
I was very good at math.
So if you got 1,216, 362, those are all rounded off to the last number. I mean, if I did that in business, I'd be out of business.
Yeah, you would.
We were told to round off to the tens, the 50s, the 100s, the 1000s.
Yeah.
If it went 1506, that was rounded off to 2,000, not 1,000.
Right.
If I did that with my cost, I'd be, like I say, broke.
You'd be broke.
So maybe there's a reason for that I don't know. There might be a bigger picture I don't understand, but it was confusing for me.
It'd be interesting to see how that does work out over a period of time for the students that learn this, and now they're getting out in the business world and see where it goes, because they're going to make mistakes with it. How can they recuperate from that?
That's right.
And I think that's the key to my next piece is we all make mistakes. How important is it to fix it? I mean, I've been with customers and we've made a mistake or something went wrong. If I can get out there and I can fix it, or talk to them about fixing it themselves, or whatever needs to get done, all of a sudden that irritation is gone.
Right.
Goes away. So talk to us about that. We've had a mistake happen. It's happened in business or with your client or whatever it is. Fixing it becomes the thing to do.
Goes back to what I said originally, own up.
Yeah.
Own up to the mistake.
Yeah.
And most customers will accept that. Some customers still don't. But you still did the right thing. And all you can do is go forward and hope at the end that they're happy in the end, that you got something done right. Because what we do is very difficult.
It is.
When you sell a car, you don't have to worry if it fits in the garage. You sell a kitchen, you better fit it in the kitchen, because we're responsible for that.
Absolutely.
That's why we're designers.
And it's a totally different sale than a car. Everybody buys a car every day. Not everyone buys a kitchen every day.
That's right.
It's a total different mindset when they walk in the door to talk
That's
to you about buying a kitchen.
So owning up comes back to the being ethic, being principled. It comes back to who you
the
are.
Trust factor that you talk about all the time. It's trusting. You want them to trust you. You want to make it good.
That's right.
And I think owning up is one of the first things you need to do, is own up to it, make it go away, and then you're going to have a happy customer or a friend or a client, whatever it is. You're going to make them happy.
I talked to some possible new clients today that might be contractors that we do work for, and I said that, just own up to it. And believe it or not, I get more referrals from customers I've made mistakes on and fixed than I did if everything went well.
Correct.
Believe it or not.
Right.
Because they saw your service.
Yeah, and that's, I think.
And you apologized.
And you fixed. You're right. You made them feel comfortable with the fact that, okay, something went wrong. How do you handle that situation? That's important to a lot of people nowadays because there are so many mistakes. People make mistakes, it's part of life.
And I think it's becoming more and more because of the way life is going.
Yeah.
Everything's about the internet, the computer. People are so distracted these days.
Oh, God.
It's amazing.
It is.
So I think that's adding to a lot more mistakes, and everybody's life's like that now. You know, it's sad.
Well, because of the distractions, you know, you're not paying attention, you're gonna make more mistakes. Another piece too is, that I wanted to address, because I think this is important. Sometimes you have folks, they make a mistake, and they stare at the mistake, and they live with that. They just keep staring at it. I made this mistake, I can't move forward. You need to.
You need to. That's where people either grow or they don't grow, because they might have admitted the mistake, but they can't get past the mistake. You're human, you better accept it. I'd say analyze it to see how you made the mistake. I always like to look to see how I made that mistake, to learn from it. But you have to go forward.
You do.
It's just like a decision. You better make a decision, right or wrong, because no decision is sometimes worse.
Yes.
So it's the same with this. You will never move forward if you can't accept it. And what do I say sometimes I post? You know, what's the words I use? I'm trying to think of the words I use. Forgive yourself.
Yeah.
You know,
You have to. Because if you're gonna sit there and you're gonna sit in that car in neutral, you're not gonna get to your destination. You gotta. All right.
That's a good analogy.
You know, you got a flat tire or you bumped into somebody, and then if you just sit in the car, you don't get to your destination. You don't forgive yourself. You can't move forward. It's impossible to move, and you need to do that.
Yeah.
So you've made a mistake. Get over it.
Get over it, because stuff happens.
Own up to it, but get over it. Move forward. Correct it. You know, don't just sit there in neutral and say, "Oh well, I made a mistake. I'm worthless." That's not true.
Well,
Making a mistake does not make you worthless.
that's right, and a lot of people can't get past that, or you know, things in their lives they can't get past the fact that everything happens to them. Well, everything's a stage of life, and there's usually a reason. But
There is.
we learn more from that than we do when everything is right. But you know, the big thing about mistakes I like to add is, if you keep making mistakes, then you have a problem.
Yes.
Then you need to fix yourself.
Yeah.
You can accept it all you want, but
That's
you
right,
better
that's
start fixing
Yeah,
it.
that's right.
Because people judge you. They can live with one mistake.
Actually,
They might live with two. They ain't gonna keep. And especially if you're dealing with a contractor, they're not gonna wanna see that. You have to be on your toes. You have to figure things out. You know, when I meet with a new design salesperson here, or I just hired a new one, I ask them, what do you think is the most important thing about your job that I think is? And they usually say, you know, that we're good designers, or we're good salespeople, with this, with that. I said, no, accuracy. Work on your accuracy first, because that's the most important thing in people's lives. If you want referrals, you better be accurate. So don't make too many mistakes.
Yeah.
You know, then there's a problem.
well, the same mistake.
Yeah, the same mistake.
Yeah.
There's a problem.
Yeah.
You need to learn enough to do that job right. When you do that job right, people look at you in a different light.
They do.
You know, you're going to have mistakes, but if every job there's a bunch of mistakes, then you have a problem.
Yes.
Fix
And
it.
we've seen that.
Learn.
We've seen that.
Yeah.
And it is costly. We know it's costly.
Very costly.
I went to a company one time that had a warranty rate that was off the charts.
Really?
And they brought me in to fix that because they couldn't live with it. They said, if I stay at this level of warranty issues, we're going to go out of business.
That's right. It costs too much money.
It costs too much money.
And when you got into that business, where did you find, what were the mistakes? What was making them happen?
Lack of communication.
See? So fix it.
Fix it.
That's what I'm trying to
I
say.
rebuilt the
Fix
whole
it.
service system because the people that we were dealing with weren't paying attention to what
Gotcha.
we were trying to get across. And it was lack of communication. And once we get that line of communication open all across the country, I went from 3.8% warranty rate down to 0.8%.
Yeah. But see the passion in him talking about that. That's all about figuring things out.
Yep.
Because sometimes if you own a business, you have to figure things out. What's hurting us?
What's costing us, right?
Because we go through those periods. We went through that in 2003. We went wacko.
Yeah.
We had so much work, so many mistakes being made, it became overwhelming, and everybody just kept making more mistakes. And I just delved into it some to see where the mistakes were. I let go of our operations manager at that time. I took back over, and within 3 months we cleared it all up to being less than 10 customer service problems a week and less than 30 incompletes, which people think that's a lot. No, we were delivering 300 kitchens, you know.
And all, everything's relative, and when
Yeah.
you, like we said earlier, when you have bigger numbers,
Right.
you have bigger mistakes, and
Yeah.
you need to regulate yourself.
Yeah, because incompletes don't mean we made mistakes. Incompletes means that a vendor delivered something wrong, or there was damage, or something else happening on the job. It was out of our control. So that's how you rate what you're doing. So
Correct.
within 3 months, we got it back to that. There was a passion to that, just like you went into that. There was a passion to fix what is wrong. So can't have too many mistakes. If it is, you need to have the passion to say, okay, where are our problems? Where are they starting? And let's fix them. Preventive maintenance. Preventive maintenance stops that from going, and within 3 months, see how quickly it went back.
And now you get your reputation back, and
That's right.
that's the key to any business. When you're a word of mouth business, if you have poor service and you're making too many mistakes, people hear about it really, really fast.
Yep.
You want to eliminate that as quick as possible.
That's right.
And get your reputation back. You know, the company that I worked for, you did it here. You have to fix that because people don't want to live with it for too long.
And at least that company recognized their mistakes.
They did.
And what was going on. They just couldn't pinpoint it.
They did.
You came in to pinpoint it.
Right, they did. They needed to fix that
That's
problem.
right.
That's why they brought me in. I found the problem, fixed it, and now all of a sudden people go, hey, you have pretty good customer service here. That's all you need.
You know, and a good moral of that story, sometimes we need help.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to ask for help. Sometimes you have to pay for to come in. It's okay. You're not broken.
No.
You just need help.
Yeah.
You know, so I know when to call for help.
Right, and that's a very valuable lesson as part of making a mistake. If you can't fix it yourself, get help.
That's right.
Don't
Because sometimes you can't.
Like you said, you kept making mistakes over and over again, and that was hurting you. Stop. Get the help you need. Fix the mistake.
And it was really simple. There was 2 factors to it. One was new salespeople were making mistakes with measuring and designing. So what did I do at first to figure out? I went out and started checking jobs. Checking jobs was after somebody passed in their final paperwork, which is all their orders, counters, cabinets, hardware. Then the project supervisor would go out and check the job, measure things, make sure you're right. And that's where I found out it was that. And the other factor was there was so many problems that people weren't paying attention enough, and everybody was making mistakes too. You know, so
It's like piling on.
find out where it started from.
Yep.
It did, it piled on.
Piled on.
It was awful.
Sure.
It was awful.
But here again, here's the lesson. The freedom to err. You made mistakes, you fixed the mistakes, your customers realized that,
Yep.
and they were...
The business was still intact. We didn't die.
Right.
People weren't happy with us, I can tell you that. There was too many people complaining about us. But I recognized what it was. We took responsibility, and I told my project supervisor, no matter what's wrong, fix it.
Right.
Doesn't matter what it cost us. That's our reputation.
Fix it.
Just get her done
Yep.
as fast as you can, and hopefully at the least cost, but don't rob the customer.
Nope.
Don't not spend enough money to do it right.
I agree.
And we kept our reputation.
Very valuable lesson.
And I had three complaints to the Better Business Bureau. And I always, when I got the email from Better Business Bureau, they say there was one, because they hit it right at the bat.
Yeah, yeah.
And they tell you, you know, look at it, and if you respond within a day or two, and then you email them back and say, we called the customer, or one of them was, yes, we've actually gone to the customer 3 times to fix those draw runners, but they keep going out. It's not us, it's the runners. We're doing our best. And that's all they cared to hear.
Yep.
And then I monitored everything from there. And I didn't have a complaint to the business for quite a few years, and really the ones that came after that were really just emotional complaints.
And you can fix them too.
Exactly.
Again,
You know,
it's just
I
a
call
mistake.
them as the owner, I show up as the owner and say, okay, let's look at it, what can we do? And that's all you need to do, is just fix your mistakes, own up to it.
Own to your mistakes, you're gonna make them. We got to close this out, we're running out of time. Tim, I thought this was a great, I know it's a negative, but we turned it into a positive.
That's right.
Next time we're gonna get together, we're gonna talk about value.
Value.
Living on value rather than price.
I love that.
Thank you very much.
Have a great day.